Welcome back. Now that you have installed CodeBlock, we need to set one more environment variable inside CodeBlocks itself. Let's see how that gets done. On your desktop, you should be able to launch CodeBlocks. Here is what your desktop will look like once we've opened up the software. Now, we're going to be creating a new project, and it's not going to work most likely. And then we will set the variable that will fix the problem. To demonstrate this, I'm going to create a new project. For this exercise, I'm going to select Console Application. We will be using Console or Empty Project when we do our work. But today, we're going to select Console Application. Go. Next. We're interested in a C++ project, which is already highlighted, so we'll say Next. We're going to give this a name. Now I've set up a folder in my Documents area named CSC121 where I will be storing the projects and programs that we write. You will probably want to set that up in a convenient place on your computer as well. I'm going to name this My First CPP Program. CodeBlocks automatically creates a project file name that maps what we just typed in for the project title. I'm going to say Next. Notice it has the compiler listed, the GNU GCC compiler. That's all correct. Everything set here is fine. Say Finish. Over on the left side of the screen, we see the project workspace. The name of the project is My First CPP Program. And underneath that, we see a folder named Sources. Inside Sources is main.cpp. That is the program file where we will write our code. Now, when I double click on that, it will open up in the editor window. That's the main part of this page. And we see that CodeBlocks has already written a program for us, which is pretty convenient. It's a tradition in programming that the first time you write a program in any language, you write what's called our Hello World program. And CodeBlocks has already done this for us. Because we're focusing on getting up and running, I am not going to discuss the details of these lines of code at this point. We'll save that for another video. But for right now, what we want to see are the steps we will take to be able to run a program. Okay, so for us, we want to be able to compile this program, which will translate it into machine language, and then run it, because the computer will actually run the machine language. We're going to be a little lazy here. We'll do this in one step today, and we'll discuss those different steps in a later video. Up above, find the Run button and click Run. And just as I suspected, we have some problems down below. So I'm going to make this a little larger so we can see that. It essentially is saying that in the settings, it tried to run the compiler, but it wasn't able to. And if we look closely, we see that it's looking for the compiler in the C min.gw bin folder. Now, a little earlier in the previous video, we set that path to be C program files min.gw bin. That's where the compiler is. And so we're going to need to change that inside CodeBlocks. So let's see how that's done. Find Settings up above. select Compiler. We see it has the GNU GCC compiler, that's correct. Go to Toolchain Executables. And here's the problem. Right now, it is looking for the compiler in the wrong folder location. So we're going to change that. You can click on the Browse button, and on our C drive, under Program Files, CodeBlocks, MinGW, bin. That's where the GCC compiler resides. This is the name of the folder that you copy and pasted to install the software. Okay, say select folder and say OK. And now it will ask, do you want to build this project? That means, do you want to compile it and create an executable? We're going to say yes. And there we go. Our program is now running properly. Now, before we end this video, my eyes are very nearsighted. So looking at a window this size and trying to read the output is really hard to do. I can barely see from this distance that it says hello world at the top of that output window, which was what our code was asking it to do. So let's improve this. If you want to go ahead and make your window fonts bigger, right mouse click, go to the defaults. I'm going to select font size 20. And defaults, colors, I'm going to change the background to white. And the text color, screen text, to black. So I'm going to reverse this just so it's easier to read. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to rerun this project. And now we see that the output window is, for me, a little bit easier to read with the larger font, the white background, and the black text. For those who are curious, and you should be, we notice there is a line of code that says cout for console output, hello world, with an end line after it. So this will print hello world to the screen and then go to the next line. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Make sure you get yourself set up and able to create and run the program. Let the console create your hello world program. And put a little note in this week's discussion to let us know if you're having any problems. Happy C++ coding!